The following video has been approved by the JD marketing team. The video has been rated JD. The following video may not be suitable for all viewers.
G'day, mate. Welcome to Captain of Industry with me, JD. Now, this is a game that I have been watching for a very long time. Actually, before it even went to Kickstarter, I knew about the game. I was following the game. I was excited to play the game. And then when it went to Kickstarter, I actually did a worth the buy style Kickstarter video, which I will actually link up the top right hand corner. If you sort of want a really quick 10-minute rundown of what is in the game, where the game's going, all that sort of stuff. And then I did get to play the pre-alpha version. The pre-alpha version quite some time ago actually, and did actually a couple of very long streams of it and thoroughly had a ball. But since then we've had alpha. Now alpha came out, the devs, the guys over at Mayfi Games, both Captain Maverick and Captain Philippe, both did a wonderful job. Added a lot of stuff to alpha, really listened to the community, and added some features that were really needed. But then since then we've had beta came out. Beta came out about a week ago. Well, it's closed beta at this stage, but you can jump into the beta if you want to. Closed beta came out. Closed beta was interesting, and with Timberborn ending, I figured it was more than time that I had another look at Captain of Industry. Now, beta, it is due out in Steam around about March, April. Maple. It should be out on the Steam store. You can wishlist it. There's probably a link down in the description. But at the same time, there is definitely a link to their actual webpage where you can sort of post Kickstart it and grab yourself a beta key right now. So if you want to play the game, you desperately want to play the game, recommend you go over, check out their website, grab a beta key right now, because I've got to say, it's a good game. I've had a lot of fun. You might notice it's got a little bit of production belts and that sort of stuff from Factorio. It's got some excavators, because resource gathering in this game is different to any other game I've ever seen really before. It has some battleships. It has some rockets. It also has some city management. So it's got a little bit of everything. But for right now, we're going to jump into a brand new game. When I look at our different options, we have the New Haven, which is the first map that was in the alpha and the pre-alpha. It's a good map. There's nothing wrong with it. But then there's the beach. The beach is a little bit harder to start on. Then we have the Golden Peak, which is just downright difficult. And then you have You Shall Not Pass, which we might save for a future playthrough. At the moment, we're going to start off with the beach. I am going to bump up both the resource size and the forest size, just because I'm not sure what has changed in the beta. We should be fine, but I'm going to play on the safe side. You know, I don't want to have to restart halfway through a series, because nobody wants to do that. Same time, game difficulty, we're going to go with JD plays as the game seat, because if you want to play along, you can play on the same seat I am. Or I'm just, like seeing my own name. Either way, we're going to start a new game. Now, I am going to ask you guys very kindly, could you do me a couple of favors? One, can you like the video? Because, feed that algorithm. It's the first episode, brand new series. Definitely appreciate it if you'd like it. At the same time, continue to feed that algorithm. By all means, type something in the comments. Like how much more you want to see of Captain of Industry and any mistakes I made along the way. Because I'm willing to bet there'll be one or two. At the same time, if you're late to the series, you will also find a link to a playlist. Because this is going to be a long play. We're going to be going through the whole game, or at least as far as is developed in the game so far. So I really recommend that if you're late to the series, click the playlist, binge watch the whole thing. Anyway, we have a tutorial. We're going to skip that. We're going to pause the game. So we have our little island. We have a little island with our little ship. We have our tiny little cargo ship, which saved all the people, all 90 of them. 90 of them from some world disaster. It's flooding, volcanoes, asteroid, nuclear apocalypse, zombies, I don't know, some sort of apocalypse. Anyway, that's all besides the point. Lovely little cargo ship found a dock, okay, a shipyard, a damaged shipyard, where we could dock at this island and, set up our colony. We have unloaded the shipping containers. which we have shoved the people into. They are happily living in their shipping container town, and also hooked into a food market where they can buy, receive food. That's pretty much all the infrastructure we've got. We do have these lovely guys here. This is the bread and the butter of this particular game. It is the pickup trucks. The pickup trucks, which are like in Oxygen Not Included. They're like the dupes. They are the workforce. Like construction drones and logistics drones all mixed in one. They are the ones that are going to be building everything, transporting everything, basically doing everything in the game, which is one of the really unique parts of Captive Industries. So we're going to start off our game with a couple of very simple things. First off, we need a research lab because every game has a tech tree and we need to get to the end of the tech tree as quickly as possible. We're going to drop down one of those, which, you know, will need some resources to be delivered, and we can see that 2 trucks have been assigned instantly to leave the main shipyard and drive over there. And we can see this one's carrying 10 construction parts and this one's carrying 20 construction parts. And then they've merged together and become one single truck with one single identity. And they're going to bring over the construction parts and dump it here. Once it's been dumped here, building will automatically build. Okay? Wonderful, wonderful. And they'll let us get into the tech tree. Now, the tech tree is exhaustive. It is long. It has many, many things. So, first off, let's zoom out. And we can see there's a bit of a tech tree we need to jump through. Now, not all of this is added currently, but it's all planned. And it ends in a wormhole gate. Yep. And heavy cargo rockets and Stardust collection and space stations and cargo rockets and rocket assembly and launch. Like, there is a few things in the game. But we can see, like, coming soon is really here. So in theory, everything's in the game, and we're going to find out during this play. But we need to start off with some basics. First thing I'm going to do is get construction, okay? Because I'm going to need to construct more things. Same thing is we have 37 months worth of food supply to feed our 90 hungry people. We should probably do something about farming. Next on our list is actual vehicles and mining. This is going to be fairly important throughout the game. Because the way we gather resources is not by hoping that they show up on the surface. We're actually going to have to go digging for them. And I'm going to, at the same time, queue up unit storage and a training dock, and we'll get to those when we get to those. So, let's go back and look at our lovely island. Let's not look through the mountain. Okay, lovely island has a few things on it. We can see this is obviously probably coal. Red stuff sticking out of the ground, probably iron. Green stuff, probably copper. Over here we have some new sort of resource sticking out of the ground. Wasn't there in the alpha. More iron, obviously. That's a bit more coal sticking out of the ground. That's definitely some copper. And then I have a detached island with some other resource sticking out of the ground. Okay. The other thing we can do is we can bring up this layers list. And the layers list gives us a nice little legend and tells us where all the resources are and how deep they are and all that sort of stuff. Because you are going to have to dig for some resources. As we can see right here. Let's start with this one. We can see this is coal. It obviously has the coal color. And we can see that, well, right here, basically on the surface is coal. And it is that deep. However deep that happens to be. But over here, we can see, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles down. I think one of these markers represents a tile. We have the coal vein actually is quite deep underground. We're gonna have to go digging for it. If we turn this off again, we can sort of see on the surface coal ended here, but underground it actually continues all the way through to here. And over here it's quite deep underground. Oh look, and that particular one has a tiny bit up here, and then a gap of stone, and then a whole bunch more coal down there. So we have a bit of coal. The blue one is obviously groundwater. Yeah. We have some sand. That was pretty obvious by the sandiness of it. We have iron as predicted. We have copper. We have some more sand up here. This new one is limestone. We have limestone. We have more iron on the mystery island we can't get to. We have gold, so we need to build a bridge, so to speak, to get across here to grab some gold. We've got more coal here, more groundwater. That's going to be important. That's more copper. That is limestone right there, where the sand meets the plains. And also, might notice down here, we have some oil buried in the sand. So we have a couple of resources we're going to have to gather. But we're going to have to start with some basics. Okay, basics being, we chose this place because it happened to have an abandoned communication station. Now, if we start recycling that, we're going to start getting out metal scrap and concrete, which is good because we're going to need both those items. First thing we're going to need is we're going to be able to turn that metal scrap in a blast furnace into something actually usable. So let's put our blast furnace, let's go with here. Blast furnace. Now, blast furnace is going to bring in metal scrap plus some coal. No idea where we're going to get coal from. And it's going to produce molten iron, and exhaust. A metal caster will bring in molten iron and cool it down and turn it into like square plates. Yes, and obviously using the good old transportations, we're going to have to hook that, there we go, into there. So we have a blast furnace, which the trucks are going to bring over construction parts, drop them off. It's going to get built. Excellent. It is going to need 8 workers. Going to have to keep an eye on some of these numbers. And it's going to produce molten iron. It's going to go into the molten channel and then pop into the metal caster, which will turn molten iron into iron. But good old ratios. Good old ratios. First off, this crafting takes 20 seconds. 20 seconds to give us 8 molten iron. This crafting takes 40 seconds to take 8 molten iron into 8 iron. But the devs over at MyFi Games, being Maverick and Philip, as I said, listen to the community, because they did, you know, different ratios, different timing, all that sort of stuff, which is, you know, what Factorio does. But they listened to the community and they gave us this lovely button here. This lovely button here just makes everything as a 60-second recipe. Okay, so it just does the math for you and just has everything as 60 seconds. So we can see we're going to make 24 molten iron for 24 metal scrap plus 12 coal, and that's going to give us every 60 seconds. That's going to give us this is going to use 12. So we probably need to do something about that. But the thing we need to do most about deal with right now is coal. Coal we get from a coal maker, I would assume, which is gonna go here. Alright. Coal maker, gonna bring in wood, output coal, add exhaust. So first off, let's jump into the wood. Wood is designate somewhere to harvest trees. We're gonna go with that area. Yeah. And trucks. We're gonna have to bounce through a few things to get through everything to start with. So bear with me. Trucks are automatically do whatever that needs to be done, except for tree harvesting. Tree harvesting, you actually need to tell them to go harvest a tree. So we're gonna have 3 of them harvest some trees to get tree harvesting up and done and up and running. And again, in a 60-second recipe, we can see we're gonna bring in 30 wood and we're gonna get 6 coal. You need 12 coal, so that's a problem we've got to come back to. But at the moment, we have 12 exhaust here and 12 exhaust here we need to deal with. Luckily, we have a smokestack. Smokestack does, you know, what a smokestack would probably do, and makes the smoke go away by releasing it out to the atmosphere. So we're going to need to hook a pipe from this machine to this, along with from the blast furnace into the smokestack as well. So we're going to click here. And this gives us all the options for hooking up our pipes. Now, that seems like an easy combination. But if we build on the ground level, trucks can't drive through it. So we're going to have to bring this up 1 level, I think. Pretty sure trucks can get under 1 level. I hope so. I'm going to bring that to there. And then I'm actually... Incompatible pipe... What? Build. Oh. Okay. Well, you're being difficult. Okay, fine. We'll build it to there. And then we'll build it to there. And then I want that to also hook into there. So hopefully, in theory, trucks can drive under that. We're going to have a pipe to take out the excess smoke. and it's going to run into the smokestack. Smokestack will then, dispose of said smoke. But we still have a ratio problem. So I am producing 6 coal every 60 seconds, and I need to actually have 12. Which brings us to the next feature of this game, and I will call this a feature, because it's a different implementation, because we have people. People. Most games I find after they add people, they want you to keep the people happy. Frankly, I'm more of an opinion of like, you survive the apocalypse, you should be happy at all times, no matter what. I don't care if your neighbor is out the front of your shipping container pooping on your front deck. You should be happy about it. You should be super happy about it. But, game doesn't work like that. They give us a happiness bonus, okay? Which is called Unity, which is funny enough because I'm pretty sure the game is built on the Unity engine. Anyway, that's besides the point. Unity. Unity we get from our population, providing we meet some of their needs. Luckily, we get 1 Unity for just giving them food, which is good because that's probably the bare minimum. You notice I'm not giving them any water. They're perfectly fine, living in a desert, no water, happy as pigs in mud. Very, very dry mud because no water, but that's besides the point. But Unity also has a cost. We have a research lab. Research lab is actually consuming Unity constantly doing research because, you have those backward people that don't want to move ahead with the time. They're just happy to survive. So there's some unhappiness caused by doing research and trying to, keep the colony alive with things like basic farming. It's fine. It's fine. So we can come to our coal furnace and we can click this button here. This will basically make people work double shifts. Double shifts. Okay, no trees to harvest. We'll get there. Double shifts, and it's going to double the input and double the output of everything. So we can do that, and it's going to cost us 25 Unity per month, every month, which is fine, but it's going to double the amount of coal we're making. We're now making 12 compared to the 12 we need, which should keep things rolling, apart from they said we have no trees to chop. Can I have you guys chop those trees, please? Cool. Alright, so back to our research. Research, we did get food production, which is a farm. Funnily enough, you grow food in a farm. We're going to throw the farm... Oh, there's one tree. One tree, really? Don't chop. Don't chop. Don't chop. Don't chop. 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 I need this tree gone. Okay, chop this tree. I can't click on the tree. Oh my god. Biggest tree ever. Hey, tree is gone. Okay. Back to chopping all that. Alright, back to food. We're going to build a farm. Okay, farm we're going to drop in right here because I'd love to build in the desert. But it turns out desert not so good at growing food. So we're going to, pop it right here-ish. There. There. Okay. Farm. Go away. Alright, farm. Farm. Nice and simple. Except, again, Captain Industry's done something a little bit unique, a little bit different. And I really, really like it. Rather than just putting down a farm. And a farm just produces infinite amount of food. They give you a couple of options, like what do you want to plant? And how often is that going to breed food? And all that sort of stuff. And on top of that, there is a ground fertility that you need to worry about, which is important in actual real life. So, in the crop schedule, we have the choice of potato, 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 or potato. And as you can see, that's going to need 24 water per month. Plus, it's going to consume 10 fertility of the soil. Okay, and then in 6 months, we're going to have 35 food. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to plant potato, and I'm going to plant potato. We should drop our fertility from 100% down to 90%, down to 80%. And then to do my crop rotation, I'm going to put in green manure twice. And the idea is that this will negate the fact that the idea is this is going to give us 2 crops very, very quickly, because we do need to have some sort of issues with, no food. And then we should bring the fertility back up to 100%. I probably need a second farm, but I'm pretty sure there's a forest in the way. Oh, and we didn't do anything about... Yeah, there's a whole bunch of molten iron right there that we can't do anything about. We need a C. One of them. We're going to put this right here and connect that in there, and that should fix our iron problem. Okay, so we have coal, we have iron, we have an assembly, which is something we should probably build. Assembly, you might notice, takes in iron, plus it takes in wood, plus it takes in some concrete blocks to make the construction materials. So we're going to build one of them right there, and we're going to see iron, wood, concrete slab, construction parts. Now, we have concrete slab being removed from the communication station. That's the only spot we have concrete slabs currently. So we probably need to do something about that in the not too distant future, but at the same time, we definitely need construction parts, because we're going to need to be able to keep building things. There's a few things we need to build. Just 1 or 2. There we go. Flying over truck, and 6 people go to work making construction parts. Okay. So that's unlocked our next thing. We can keep building. We can keep building until we've run out of concrete. But that's besides the point. The next thing we unlocked is a vehicle depot. Now, a vehicle depot, very, very important building. We're going to pop it right here. And this gives you one of the biggest fundamental differences of Captive Industry to any other game is the fact that you have to build excavators to dig up the resources. And at the same time, you're going to have to transport those resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some Unity, because we can, to quick deliver the materials here. So we're just going to click this. Materials will instantly arrive, which is great. Speeds it up a little bit. Same time, we're going to have a small excavator. I'm going to want 2. I'm pretty sure you can guess one's for coal and one might be for another material that we're currently slowly running out of. Yep. So we're going to build a couple of excavators. Now, they require iron, plus they require copper, plus they require diesel. We have a fixed amount of copper. We have a fixed amount of diesel. We probably need to advance through the tech tree to do something about that. On top of that, each one is going to require a driver. We're going to eventually run out of workers. At the same time, we notice that there is 13 seconds in the queue. So, cars are not available instantly to get assigned to the different things, which is potentially fine, potentially an issue. Now, we can fix that one in 2 ways. We can go in the priority system, we can actually alter the priority of different things. Now, we have priority starting at 1, most important, 15, you'll get to it when you get to it, right after Christmas. Next year, that is. Christmas next year. Or we can add some more trucks. Now, trucks are going to cost more iron. Iron we're pretty good on. Copper is still a finite resource. They also require rubber. Yeah, I had no idea what that resource was when I first looked. Rubber and also gasoline, because we need to fill up tanks. So we're going to add in 2 more trucks as well, because that number is getting worse, not better. Wood choppers are kept busy chopping wood. No, there is some spare wood. Okay, we're going to take one of you guys off chopping wood. And that hopefully improves things. Alright, so with our new excavators that are being built, we're going to need to put them to work. And we're going to do that by clearing out this bit of trees and setting up a mine control tower. Now, this lets you control mines or mines. Yeah, mines with a D on the end, or and ones without a D in it. Yes, mines. So, mine control tower gives you a couple of options, okay? One is the management size. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to check this and see the coal stretches, all the way back to there and all the way up to there. We might have to rebuild the tower later. We're going to edit the area. We're going to come far to the right and all the way out to there. We want you to sort of be in control of all that area's worth of coal. On top of that, we need to tell the excavators how to dig, because there is a The trucks are pretty automated, entirely automated. The excavator's a little bit different. So we have under the mining designation, we have this little GUI here. And this lets us build, dig flat or at an angle. And if we drag this into the ground, it's definitely going to dig into the ground. If we drag it into the air, it'll build a ramp. Or, because we have a lot of resources on the surface, I'm just going to say dig everything. Just flatten the area out. Flatten the area out. We're going to start with strip mining. You are obviously going to need an excavator and you're going to need a truck, which is going to make that queue thing even worse. But we should have our very first excavator. There he is. Pop over. Now we are going to have to set this guy up. No, there's no pause. Nowhere to follow him. I want to follow him. I want to lock the camera to this guy. Alright, mining priority. Because he's mining coal, I really want to designate that he aims for the coal. Because there is going to be dirt that's going to get in his way and probably some rock and a few other things. So at the moment we're going to make sure that he goes for the coal first. But if I find dirt or rocks or other things, I need to dump them somewhere. So beside the mining destination, we have a dumping destination. Super, super important. I want to come over here. And I'd like to dump material here. But I obviously want to build a ramp. So we're going to build a ramp like so. Because it's going to be important the trucks can get up and down. And in fact, we're going to... yeah, like that. Build up, please. In fact, I might actually remove those ones. And remove those ones. Yeah. Just to force the trucks to build this area first so we can ramp up. And then after we've ramped up, then they can, fill in everything else and we'll make a bigger ramp. But the other thing I'm going to want is I'm going to want iron. Okay, so we're going to go again into the layers, and we're going to definitely look at this iron right here. Now, I don't really want to strip mine this one. I'd really like to actually dig out that iron, and we can see it's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles deep, I think. So we're going to come to here. We're going to go Q. So we're at +3, so I want to go down to -3. I'd like to dig at -3. I'd also like to press the F button to angle that upwards. And we're going to come up to ground level. I'm going to dig that. It also means I need another mine control tower here because we need to control more mines. We're going to edit the area on that. I'm going to have you do that whole area roughly. I'm going to assign you a truck and a truck. And where's that excavator? I want you to prioritize actually getting iron ore out of the ground. That would be ideal. There's a catch with you getting iron ore out of the ground. I'm pretty sure there's a crap ton of sand in the way. So, what can be dumped here? Actually, you need to be... sure. What can be dumped here is a whole different question. At the moment, it's dirt, rock. Actually, can I bring that up slightly higher? Probably. That's a bit better. Not really. What can be dumped here? Dirt, rock, and slag. I'm also going to add sand. So that way if the excavator, like he does right now, digs up some sand, he's going to put it in the truck. In the good old pickup truck. Who is then going to eventually... you hold 6. Yeah. You're up to 7 in you. 13. 19. Come on, one more. Okay. And then the pickup truck should... There he goes. There he goes. Swing by over here. And drop the sand right there, which is in the dumping zone, trying to build those levels up. Oh. that's not level either. Well, there you go. There you go. Alright, so we've got those up and running. We've got you up and running. I can now turn off the boost on that. Yeah, I can turn off the boost on that because we're now getting coal directly out of the wall. You've got rid of dump coal. Yeah, that's fine. We're now making production parts. We should probably put a second farm in. Let's leave a little gap between them. And we're going to have you do potato and then green straight away, and they'll just loop forever. And we did finish one other thing, which was cargo trading dock, which we're going to dump right there. How far many trees to harvest? Well, yeah, get rid of that, plus that, plus that. Because that's sort of on the way to copper, which is over here, which I'm willing to bet, as we have a few things using copper, we're going to need reasonably quickly. So, trading dock. Trading dock gives us a way of trading with local villages. Pretty self-explanatory, but in the GUI, if we click this, we can see that we have our warship. Our warship, which is, by the way, heavily damaged and needs repair, just like the dock is. But a trading dock needs a smaller ship, and we can send that out to local villages, local settlements that we happen to have wanted to pass, and to start trading for materials. So we could trade logs, of course, for concrete blocks, which sounds like a deal. Construction parts for copper, which maybe 20 for 20. Construction parts don't require copper, do they? No, I call that a pretty good trade. We can also trade diesel for coal, which sounds like we're getting ripped off. Wood for metal scrap, which is not a bad trade. Of course, iron for rubber, which if we want to make more vehicles and they have wheels on the bottom, we're probably going to need some more rubber. The excavator doesn't. It's all out of rubber wheels, but, you know, the pickup does have a few rubber wheels. Anyway, I think we're still very, very much in the early game. Don't get me wrong. I think we're still very, very much in the early game. We're going to have power and maintenance and concrete and diesel fuel and copper and all sorts of things that we're going to be covering in the next couple of episodes. But I think we're going to cover this. We're going to call this episode here because we've got enough that the colony has started. It's a fledgling colony, but it's a running colony. That's the more important thing. That we may have some resources we don't have nearly enough of, and ones that we may possibly run out of in the not too distant future. But for right now, I'm going to call the very first episode of Captain of Industry right here. I do invite you guys once again, if you want to see the next episode, by all means, click the subscribe button, turn on the bell if you want, get those notifications. But at the same time, do me a favor, like the video. Let's see whether we can get the YouTube algorithm to actually pick up the video and run away with it, because this game has so much potential, and we've only covered the first episode. The first episode in the first 2 years of the game. Yeah, things are going to progress fairly quickly. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the very next episode of Captain of Industry. Alright, we're out. Bye.